Got another chironomid pattern here. It's a decently easy tie to do, and so we're going to go ahead and get in it. Alright, so we're putting on a Fulling Mill FM 5067 size 14 in the hook, and I've got a size 2.4 millimeter countersunk tungsten bead on there, just in black. We're going to go ahead and remove that for a second. I'm going to come in here, start our thread up here at the top of the hook. And then we're going to take some Glow Bright and white. These are going to be for the gills, with the little breathers that we see. Bring that, and then I'm just going to fold it over. And I'm really just going to tie in the two facing strands. And I prefer to just cut this off now. And so I cut them off, you know, just a little bit longer than the eye of that hook. And then come in here and give it a whip finish. I like to spread that whip finish out so I don't create too much bulk for that bead to slide up and over on. So now we're going to go ahead and trim that off. And now we're going to slip that bead up. Alright, now we're just going to go ahead and start our thread up on this side. And then, so it's important when you're tying flies, you got to think about what are the materials that you're wrapping up last. And so when we do this fly, we're going to go ahead and lay down first some silver UTC wire in the brassy size. And I'm just going to lay that on top of the shank, and I'm going to work that way, work this down. Right, you know, until I get a good little bend into there. Once that's worked down to here, I'm going to go ahead and tie in. I've got some Vivas hollow tinsel and cranberry, and I'm just using the medium size. So we're going to go ahead and tie that in, and because it's nice and small, so I'm not too worried about bulk here. I'm just going to work it down, right, match my tying point. Now, one thing that's important and a good skill to learn is my thread is pretty corded up right now, so I'm going to spin it counterclockwise to release some of that cordage. I'm going to let that spin, and now we're going to go ahead and wrap it back up. And this is going to allow that thread to lay even. And so now what I'm going to do is I want to build up a good body taper here. Okay, so now I got the taper that I want. And then we're going to go ahead and give it a quick half inch. Pull that tight. And the reason for that is just make it a little easier to wrap up this hollow tinsel. So I'm going to use the rotary function of my vise, and we're going to wrap this cranberry hollow tinsel up, making sure we're overlapping touches here. Alright, we're going to get that all the way to the bead. When we're here, I'm going to go ahead and tie it off. Do a couple on the front, a couple behind, really get it locked in there because we don't want that coming out on us. Now, again, the trick with the tinsel is you just snip a corner, pull it off. Alright, now I'm going to wrap the opposite way with my wire just to help lock it in, and I'm going to go ahead with that wire and give it some nice segmentation and broaden it up. And we're just going to work that all the way up to the bead. Once you get there, again, we're going to really want to get that seated in. Bend it back over itself to where it came. So it came this way, and then as you bend or as you helicopter off, it'll just pop right off, and no need to worry about getting in there with your scissors. Alright, at this point I'm going to take some hairline eye stub in the peacock eye, and a little bit goes a long way. So we're just gonna go ahead and put a little bit on here. As you can see, some's falling off, but that's all right. We're gonna go ahead and get that up. I'm gonna grab some of that fell and add it back on. We're not going for a lot here, but we're just going for a little bit of a build up, and that's gonna be perfect. Now all I'm gonna do, go ahead and bring my whip finisher in here. Give it a good, pull that tight. One more time with the forward finish. Fell off the bead there. There we go. See? Just gotta be watching what you're doing. There we go. Pull that up and snip it free. So now an optional step that you can do, which I'm just gonna go ahead and do just to add a little bit more durability, is just take some, I use Loon Flow, but take some runny resin, kind of dab it on there. So we don't want to build it up any, but we're gonna just kind of help spread it out here. And then we're gonna go ahead and zap it. And if you can see on here, you can see this, the breathers up here on the front that we put in with that glow bright are really shining good. So if I remove that, it's kind of, let's see if we can get good shine there. See, it's really shining, dulls up. But there you have it. Again, just another great still water pattern, a great chironomid for out on the lakes, ponds, reservoirs, whatever you're fishing.